In chapter 20, we come to the Hithpael, the last of the 7 major binyanim that we are studying. Just as the Nifal was a reflexive counterpart for many Kal verbs, the Hithpael provides a reflexive counterpart to the Piel and Pual stems. That said, as with the other binyanim, no single generalization will cover every use of the Hithpael. It does seem to have a basic function of action referencing the subject, whether himself, herself, itself, or themselves. But we can distinguish 5 major categories. First, reflexive Hithpaels, places where the subject impacts itself with the verbal action. Example, 2 Chronicles 15:8, Hit Chazak, he strengthened himself. Or 2 Chronicles 5:11, Hit Kadashu, they had consecrated themselves. You see the name, remember, Hit Pael, and you see at the beginning of each of these perfects, hit. Second category, reciprocal uses, when the components of a plural subject impact each other. For example, in 2 Kings 9, Vayit kasher, they conspired together. Or Job 41:9, Yit la kadu, they clasp one another. Third major category, iterative uses, where an action is repeated. Bahashekha yit halaku, Psalm 82:5. They walk about in darkness, an iterative, a repeated and ongoing action. Fourth, sometimes a Hithpael verb will be used in a way that is basically an active use, seeming much like a typical Kal verb form. For instance, from 1 Samuel 2:25, Ve'im la'adnai yecheta ish. This phrase has simply a Kal verb, and if a man sins against the Lord, then the phrase with the Hithpael verb, mi yitpalel lo, who can intercede, a Hithpael imperfect, for him. Sometimes the self-interest of the Hithpael can be apparent behind the active translation. For instance, Isaiah 44:17, Vayit palel elav, and he prays to it. In Isaiah, in indicating he prays to it, there you can imagine the self-interest behind the praying. Other times, however, this somewhat reflexive sense that seems to be characteristic of the Hithpael may barely be evident. In Genesis 20, verse 7, you have Vayit palel ba'arka, and he will pray on your behalf. And so in this case, the subject has very little self-interest. Finally, fifth, though less common, Hithpael verbs can also be denominative. For instance, from Numbers 11, Eldad u Medad mitnabaim b'machaneh. So Eldad and Medad, a Hithpael participle, are prophesying in the camp.